Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Get in Tune. We're just going to wait a moment. I'm sorry for that blank screen. I still need to uh, choose a plan on Restream. They very limited me, so even the little video stuff I had is kind of gone at the moment. But while we are waiting, just a few moments to begin, we're going to do the normal. Hey, let's pitch Michael's stuff here. So, the Whimsical Whiz, the complete 2023 collection, is up on Amazon. Just go to Amazon and type in the Whimsical Whiz. Very soon, I'm updating my website right now, so links to it will be on there very soon. Don't forget, it's really night creatures in English or Creatures of the Night. This is in Portuguese. I illustrated a cover to one of the stories in here. You can check that out. I'll have a link up as well when my website's back up and running new. And don't forget Zorro's Swordplay and Romance. Oh, wait, no. That's Zorro's Swordplay and Romance. This one's Zorro's Exploits. This one I illustrated 2 stories in. This one, 1. You can get these at boldventurepress.com or on Amazon as well. And don't forget, you can find the Whimsical Whiz in A Kid in a Comic. So go to akidinacomic.com. It is a newspaper filled with fantastic artists and all original comics done by some really fantastic artists. Tim Jones, who does Sour Grapes, is in it. Our friend J.M. DeSantis, who does this Chadiana, has in there. You may know Riley Brown. He's got a great comic in there. Thunder Song. I can't remember the name right now. But it's all great stuff. Anyway, tonight we're bringing a couple of returning guests and one brand new one. And I've talked to them backstage. They're all great people. I'm looking forward to this talk tonight. So let's start. They are all the people behind Devil's Reign. It is a comic that we have discussed on here multiple times. I hope some of you have had a chance to check it out. The artwork is beautiful. The story is really good. So let's bring on first the creator. We're just going to go down and bring a bunch of people on here. Okay. And let me try to do this properly since I'm bad with names. Oh, God. Rudy Orozco. Can you say it again?
Orozco.
Orozco.
There
Jeez,
you go.
I feel so bad. I am so bad. I told you, give me 5 minutes and it was gone. I didn't. I got to hear it. All right. And in addition, we are bringing on, and you're the writer and creator, and we're bringing on your colorist, Eli Hernandez. Hello.
And the letter.
And the letterer. And the artist that draws it, David Abrevaya. Hey, David.
Yeah, he's
Hi, everybody.
the penciler, the inker. Yeah, and he's also some
The
colorist
artist.
and letterer too. Yeah, he does all 4.
Does it all. Well, thank you all for coming on tonight. I did forget to mention that this is the first. Is this my only Get in Tune for August, or I might have had one the first week. I have been so busy getting ready for this arts and crafts show I'm doing this weekend that I took a couple of weeks off of what's it called? Get in Tune. So I had my nights to draw and organize and prep. So almost
That's
all ready.
awesome.
So how's everyone doing tonight?
Really good.
That's good to hear. So
Caffeinated.
Rudy,
Yeah.
I'm done with that this time of night.
It's
This is
still
only
daytime
water.
behind me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rudy's in the past. We're all in the future over here.
Yeah. Still
Like
sunny
you,
over
Rudy.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the nice sunshine over there. So, so Rudy, since we're going to go around and have everyone just tell us a little bit about themselves and who they are and what they do. I just kind of like to start the show that way. But since you haven't been on yet, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, the writer creator Devil's Reign. I also because we're a self published, I created the Wallbreaker Comics, so we're publishing under that, which is the business I created as well.
Okay.
And then yeah, no, the story is something I wrote back in 2008, and I just kind of sat on it for about a decade, and then shared it with some people, and then they suggested I make it into a comic book, so I just bought a lot of books, learned how to write comic books, and then just got started. And then we have a project developer, Alexa. She's the one who found David and Eli.
All right. Well, that was actually going to be my next question for you.
Yeah.
How did you team up with these people? So, anyway, let's move on. David and Eli, tell us a bit about you. Whoever wants to go first.
Eli, you want to go first?
Yeah, should ladies first, right? Let's go that way.
Okay. So I'm Eliza, but everybody calls me Eli for short. And I'm an illustrator and artist and the colorist. And as Rudy mentioned, letterer as well, my secret lettering behind the scenes for Devil's Reign, which has been a very interesting process. Again, people who don't know that comics are a lot of work and it takes a whole team to do it. Yes, you wear many hats sometimes. And yeah, it's a bit about me. I like my coffee. I like nostalgia of the 2000s and terrible dad jokes. If you tell me a dad joke, I'm in a good mood.
Don't forget your puns. You're punny.
Oh, my puns! I am very punnerful.
That's right. Then you should be doing comic strips and humor strips.
Call you the Punisher.
No,
Yes.
I love it.
All right, and David.
Rudy, you really hit the punch on that
Oh. So introducing myself again. Michael, thank you for letting us on here and getting us together again.
No, anytime. Always a pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm an artist, illustrator, cartoonist, and also storyboard artist. I do work for Marvel, Star Wars, and Warner Brothers, basically all the big companies, as well as doing this amazing comic with Rudy. I also do storyboards for NBC Sports, which is pretty cool. And trying to make moves here in Peekskill to do some really cool stuff.
You're doing a lot of great stuff over there at Peekskill.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael.
One day I'm going to attend something, I promise. It's hasn't happened yet, but I have new work hours coming out soon, so that might give me more flexibility with that, and I hope to attend very, very soon. So anyway, I want to start with Rudy because this is your creation. We've had both David and Eli tell us about the comic, what it's about, but I want to hear about it in your words and kind of tell us how you came up with this idea.
Well, how I came up with it was basically just I had this crazy dream one night, and when I woke up, I thought it was really cool, and it was actually the first issue. Is actually the dream I had, and then it was just kind of me in a prison, and then just like people were possessed in there, and when I woke up, I wanted to know what happened. I was like, that was really cool, and then I was just like, if I ever have that dream again, I'm gonna write it down, and so I just got a pen and paper and just sat it next to my bed, and lo and behold, I had the dream again. Like, I don't know how long after it was, but then I wrote it down. And then when I started going to college, I was kind of just bored, and I just started working on it. I bought a book called The Screenwriter's Bible for movie scripts, and I read that first, and then I had written a movie script, and I just kind of started with the dream and just kind of started adding on the beginning and the end, because it was kind of like the middle portion. Okay. And then, that's how I got started. It took me about 2 years to write it.
Okay, and for the movie script, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, and when did you? You mentioned earlier someone suggested a comic, but how long after that, and how did you go transition from movie script to comic script?
So I think it was probably like 2017 when I was just working. My buddy Abel, he was just because he's really into fitness, And so he was writing a journal about fitness because he wanted to do his own book. And so I just started, talking with him because I was like, oh, I like to write too, on the side. And he's like, well, let me read something. So I showed him Devil's Reign, and then he told me it was really good. And he shared it with his sister-in-law, Alexis, who became the project developer. And when she read it, she's like, you got to do something with it. And they were both like, this is more like a comic book feel. And so I was like, okay. So I ended up getting some books on how to write comics. Um, there were books by Scott McCloud and then Will Eisner on
Okay.
how to write comics. And then, after that, that's when I converted it to comic book format. And then Alexa had found David and Eli.
Nice. And what year was that in?
Oh, guys, I think it was 2018. Was that
Yeah,
2018? I think maybe. Yeah.
before COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been.
Before the world shut down.
Has it been 7 years? Has it been 7 years, guys?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a
how many?
while.
Yeah,
It's
how
been-
many issues
man.
about?
We got 4, and then we got 4 more written, and they're in the layout stages still.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me just ask you, Rudy, before we move on.
Mhm.
Were you a comic fan before this? Did you read any comics, or or
Um,
let me ask this. Hold on, sorry, because I'm looking at my Will Eisner books right up there anyway. But I should mention. Was it that did you read comics in addition to reading these kind of like how-to books, or were these how-to books your only guide?
that was my
into
first experience with comic books. Was those
Okay.
Will Eisner and Scott McCloud books? Yeah.
Right. And do
Because
you
I
read
had read
comics?
novels, and I actually read a whole lot of movie scripts, but I'd never read comics, and so I was new to it.
And are you a fan now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fan of especially indie like now because we did our first Kickstarter, and actually, yeah, so I support a lot of Kickstarter indie comics now. Like, actually, I just got this. Like, I got this one just in the mail the other day.
Which
This
one's
is an indie
Oh
comic for me.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jordan's comic.
yeah.
I
So I've
actually
been
Shout out
saw
to
that.
Jordan.
yeah.
I saw that. That looks familiar. I think I saw that advertised.
Yeah. So that's kind of my my niche now is I like supporting these Kickstarter comics just like mine.
Yeah, I try to do that too. I just got my fugitive poems in today. I don't know where I put them though. I showed them off in my Instagram video today.
And I actually read this. This is really good too.
What's the name of it, by the way? So if we see it at shows.
Ogre?
Oh gory.
Ogori.
Ogori.
Rudy. Ogre.
Ogre.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's really good.
I think I know where. I just want to show these off, by the way. Got to fix that piece. This is what I got from Fugitive Poems. This one was the first book that Christian DiMatteo and James Lyons worked on together. The first story that created Fugitive Poems is called The River. And there is this isn't the book I funded. This was just the tier to get an older book of theirs. And if you've seen James's work, it's very kind of like rock and roll, and he's got a very like. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the camera nicely. But there's this scene, and where this guy gets his face lasered off. I think David's seen it.
Jeez.
And it's just one of the best drawings. Like, it should be coming up on the next page or so. I'm sorry, the pages. I don't know where it is. I'm sorry. I'll have to look for it. But man, this guy. When I saw that, I was like, I need to own a copy. It may not be in this version. I thought it was in this book. The other one here, definitely not for kids. It's called Blood Valkyrie in Vegas.
Blood Valkyrie in Vegas.
Oh God.
Rudy, that sounds like totally up your alley.
Now, this is not kid friendly, so any kids watching, you need to. I'm sorry. Let me show that off there. It has covering on there.
Oh yeah, I know those covers.
Yeah,
I hate
We
those
know
covers
those
so
covers
much.
so well.
just to show, and this isn't the cover is James, I believe, but the work inside is not. But it basically opens up on a demon orgy.
Oh my
So
god.
I didn't show the really bad scene. I accidentally did that on my Instagram. But yeah, you guys check out fugitivepoems.com. It's a fantastic creator. They're fantastic creators. Anyway, I'm sorry. Give a shout out to them and maybe.
Oh, I found the books. I found the books that it was this one.
Yep. Comics
That
and
one.
Sequential Art. That's a great book right
And
there.
then this one right here.
Oh, that's
Understanding
one of the best.
Yes.
Understanding Comics
Mhm.
in 94 and 95 when I took a class, digital video editing that was my textbook for the class.
Oh, that's awesome! Really, that's
I,
really
I
cool.
was forced to read it for school, but it was one of my most enjoyable textbooks ever.
And then this was the one for the movie scripts right here.
That looks familiar
Screenwriter's
too.
Bible. Yeah,
I've never read that one. I did.
it's good. It's got good stuff.
Was it? What's the Sid Field one? That was like the first. That was the popular one when I was in college.
This is like David Trotter.
Yeah,
But one thing that I found that was really cool when I was learning about writing scripts was that a lot of different people said that Back to the Future is like the perfect script. Like if you were to say like if kind of like if it just hit all the notes. Like if it was a song, it hit everything. So
That
like
or Happy Gilmore.
but
The first one. The first one.
I still haven't seen the second one.
I haven't seen it yet either.
It's okay. I'll say that. I watched the. I have a thing. I like Adam Sandler films, but I also like that he aged, like his comedy and his stuff with his audience. So like when his original stuff came out, I was the perfect age. I laughed with it, but now going back on those old stuff, I'm like, they're kind of just. I don't want to.
Yeah, you had to be from the '90s to really appreciate it.
Yeah, so
yeah, it really is '90s humor. Yeah,
but like I'll tell you right now, Grown Ups 2, I think is one of the best movies he's ever done. I've watched that countless times. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but Grown Ups 1's good, but Grown Ups 2.
I think Grown Ups 1. Yeah,
Grown Ups 2 is just great. And what was the other one? My wife and I we just rewatched Blended. I don't. Did you ever see that? The one he did with Drew Barrymore.
I like that one. That one's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's Terry Crews that makes me laugh in that one. So,
Terry Crews, of course.
just like what was the one he did for the Western that Adam Sandler did on Netflix? Did you guys see that?
the Seven Brothers or one where he's like all these different brothers. Yeah, that one's pretty funny.
Ridiculous. Was it Ridiculous 6? Right? Is that theirs?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
something like that. That's hysterical too.
Yeah, he teaches them how to play baseball. I remember that. Yeah, I'm a big baseball guy, so he invents baseball on the movie. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So maybe we should get a little focused. Last time we did one of these, we got a little criticism for jumping off and going in our own direction.
Hold on, let's do one more jump
From
off.
comics to movies to pop culture.
Hold on, last time we had Edwin on. And Edwin, who people may know as Enoch Ziesel on Instagram, has a opening this Friday night in the Bronx.
That's right.
He does.
I forgot where it's at now. Bronx, is it Bronx Arts Center or something? I forgot where it's at right now.
Might be.
I have to look it up, but I'm going to try to get there, even though it's the day before my show, which I'm still going nuts for. So if I can get some rest on Friday, I will be there Friday night. So yeah, I'll get the address and everything before the show's over so that I can really pitch it at the end. But anyway, let's get back. We're talking Devil's Reign. We haven't heard from really Eli and David yet. So
it's the Bronx Art Factory.
Bronx Art Factory. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I'll still say it again at the end of the show. But remind me if I don't. So, okay, so let's go to the time now. David, you were approached. I'm sorry, was it Alexis or Alexa?
Alexa, yeah.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Alexa, okay. So Alexa, she found you how?
I'm not quite sure how.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alexa, you shut up.
That's kind of how we use her too.
Sorry, I haven't
I was
defined.
driving up to Santa Barbara yesterday.
What
to play
the?
golf with
Alexa,
Jay Connors,
stop! Sorry.
That was very creepy.
Yep, they're always listening. I won't refer to her anymore tonight, but as the project manager, how did the project manager find you?
So she reached out to me through Instagram and just asked me if I was open for work. I was working for Mount Vernon government at the time.
Okay.
And yeah, I said, I asked more about the project. Rudy was gracious enough to supply a little bit of the script for me and also to show me the original comic that his issue 1, his original issue 1.
Mhm.
And I was very interested. We kept talking back and forth. And yeah, after meeting them, I was ecstatic to get involved. They're just great people.
That's awesome. And Eli, how did you come on to the project?
So originally, Devil's Reign was going to be a black and white comic or like graphic novel series, and David showed Rudy my colors and said, "No, we need to make this very vibrant and colorful." And after that, Rudy was like, "Yeah, I'm down."
Yeah.
So you had
Good
an
choice. Very good choice.
So Rudy, you had a book before David came on as the artist. So was issue 1 already out and published, or did you have it just drawn by another artist?
I had it drawn by a local artist because I live here in Modesto, and then we contacted somebody locally first, and then he was able to do at least get my ideas on paper, and so that really helped. And then after
So
that,
David.
moving forward, we had found David after that because he only worked on the first one, and then after that we found David after that because he had stepped aside after that.
All right. Cool. So David, because this is going to be like related to art. So you get this book that someone else kind of worked on. And I haven't seen any of the originals. I only know what the work you've done. What was the changes like? Did you do new character designs? Did you base stuff on the other artists' work? How did that process go for you?
Okay. So this is I'm going to be as polite as I can be. So Rudy hired out some amazing comic book. So the character designs were done by other artists, and they were amazing, absolutely incredible artwork. When it came down to the book, his first issue, there was basically nothing in there that we could use. So after Rudy basically saw the potential of what me and Eli were doing and how we were elevating, we were bringing up the quality beyond the original concept. We were able to turn Rudy's concept into like a full-grown baby, and now it's like moving around, it's having fun. And then after we were done with issue 2, because I actually started on issue 2, we actually went back into issue 1 and redid all of issue 1 too, and it came out even more epic. Just an incredible book. I have some of the issues here I could show you. Let me just grab them really quick.
And I'm going to give you the camera, so like give you the screen so we can see the artwork.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Let me see if I remember how to do this.
Oh, here you go. And then this was the first one.
Oh yeah.
David,
we have a copy. We still have the copy.
Rudy, I do have a copy of that.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So there you go. You got the screen, man.
All right. Hi, everybody. I am bigger than before. So this is the issue that Eli and I started on. So I'm just going to zoom in on it just a little bit so you guys can see it. We really elevated the detail.
Can you just hold on 1 second? Eli, I'm sorry to ask you this. Can you mute your mic? I believe there's a bit of an echo on David's side. and I think
No
it's coming
problem.
from your side. Yeah,
So let's open this up.
yeah.
So this was our first page.
Mm-hmm.
Just starting it up,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And as we keep going in here, it just gets more and more interesting. We were able to really bring up the dynamism.
Yeah, that was our first picture right there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, right?
That was the very first picture. That one. Yep.
That right there.
Wow. That's great.
And then if you want to see the rest, you got to buy it. No, but let me show you issue 1. So issue 1 was a complete redesign from what the issue 1. This is our brand new cover. And it opens up, right? Pretty much almost the same exact way as the original comic did. But we changed the pacing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we added a little bit more characters, added a little bit more fun. Here's where you see the cell block starts to get out of control. All the inmates have turned on their water. They're throwing books that they set on fire. They're pretty much creating as much chaos as possible. Let's see. Let's keep going.
Can you show the I don't know if it's a 1-page or a 2-page spread, but I remember having a conversation with you how you have a crowd scene and everybody's like really different. Like you made sure that that wasn't just generic crowds, that there was like a character in each of the pages, in each of the background pieces.
Well, I like to do that kind of stuff. This is one shot, so I do it a lot. Sorry, guys, you see my head inside the shot. But if you see all the background characters are doing something different.
Cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. Just the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually
One who
names
has-
for a lot of them too, because they have personality. Like there's one that's like we call him Viking and stuff like that, just because the way he drew them, they have their like own personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just to show you guys, so here's just a little sample of all 4 issues. So I'll just show you this. Here's it. Issue 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is our newest issue right here.
Mhm.
These were a lot of fun. Rudy, you did a great job on these scripts.
Thank you, thank you.
Let me bring everyone back. So Rudy, you said okay, so you have the 4 issues out. You said you have 4 more scripted. How many issues are you planning this, story arc to be, or this comic to be?
So I actually, because the movie script was it's 120 pages, and then I was telling David and Eli actually recently, I would say we're on about page 70 right now of the movie script. So we're getting there. Yeah. So I would say we're gonna have I would say maybe 13 to 16 ish, probably be around there. We'll be able to tell the whole story.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think more with your pacing and how you would like to set things up, probably 16.
Yeah. Well, like, so when I send it to David and Eli, a lot of times they'll like less is more. So like a lot of times I overwrite or overdraw because I do some layouts myself, but like stick figures just to kind of help.
They're amazing.
I love them.
They're amazing. The post-it note
I'm
ones.
getting better. I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
You really are. You have to show off your Figmas. Do you have them next to you? He
No,
got
I
Figmas.
don't. Let me see. No, I don't have anything. No.
Oh,
But
okay.
there. Oh, here you go. Okay, here you
Well,
go.
you
Like
got
right here, right here. Here you go. So this is like one of my drawings. But see, so it went from that, and then let's see here. Let me pull out the issue. I think that might be issue 4, right? Where he's investigating the cruiser.
Yeah.
Let's see. 4.
Oh, I'm gonna pull that shot. Hold on, so
Yeah.
people can see the.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the before
Hold
and
on.
after.
Yep.
That's hysterical.
Oh man,
Listen,
I love these layouts. He has so many of them. You could make what is it? A Rudy edition, Devil's
you
Reign,
should.
out of all of these.
Let
I
me
think it might
tell
be
you.
issue 3. Let me see.
Oh, it's issue 3. Yeah.
Let me see.
Let me tell you though, I have been in some studios before, and there was one. I won't say the name, but there was one comic studio I was in, and I saw writers send scripts in that looked just like that, or literally
that's
had
awesome.
stick figures because they wrote in panel. This is how they pictured it out.
Rudy.
Oh, there you
Hold on,
go.
where is it? Hold on, wait. Let me find it. Right there.
There you go, right there. Right there.
Oh, where he's holding, yeah.
So yeah. So from that to that right there.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I love this process so much. Oh, by the way,
There you go.
Michael, I found the shot that you were talking about.
He's on the
Yeah.
microphone. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Look at this one.
Yeah, hold on. I want to give the screen because that. Whoops, wrong person. Sorry. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Some of these are actual patrons too.
Yeah, that
Really?
guy's
Yeah,
a
Kickstarter
coworker of mine. That's his
backers.
son. Yeah, right there.
Hey, where's he? This guy
Right
right
there.
here.
And then that guy's
This
the guy I
guy.
work with right there too.
This
Yeah.
guy right here. I think that's it, right?
That's it for that page. Yeah, and then that's Viking right
Yeah.
there to the right. Yep.
Yep. He's a mean bastard.
We'll see more of him later.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
And hold on, I just want to give a little shout out to Dylan, who's in the audience. He says his birthday is next Wednesday, so happy birthday, Dylan.
Happy birthday,
Oh, happy
Dylan.
birthday!
I'll probably have a show that remind me next week if you're watching.
And so this I'll show you just a little bit so you can see why kind of we did the
Let me
issue
give
1
you the-
redo. So this was
Oh man, Rudy.
Oh, you're
Yeah, that
bringing
was-
it back.
that was it. That was why we redid it because they weren't it's just too much of a difference.
Yeah, David's is a little more dynamic.
Yeah. But like I said, but I got it on paper. I think that was the most important part was getting it on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Listen, I'm just very impressed with what all of you are putting together. And I mean, you've been. I know. I follow both Eli and David on social media, so I see like when they go out to conventions, and they've been to some cons out in California for this. And I mean, how long have you been doing shows? Since the first book? Since
I think once we had the first 2 issues, because our first convention together, we were selling just issues 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the year after
And that was
it was
CreepyCon, I think.
Yeah, it was CreepyCon. Yeah.
It was CreepyCon. We gotta go back.
Yeah, we will. We will.
And do you come out this way for any conventions?
I've been out there twice. I went out there for was it the Big Apple Con?
Mhm.
And then also we went out there for the New Jersey Horror Con as well.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I think that's coming up, right?
Yeah.
For Jersey.
It has to be, yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to those, but I hear they're pretty good. Like fun shows,
It
all
was
the horror-
fun, yeah. And then I actually got to be on a writer's panel where like people ask you questions and stuff, which is really cool.
That's awesome. Wow.
But yeah, definitely more conventions in the future.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
actually looking at cons right now. I haven't done a bunch in a while. Now I'm like starting up again.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'll tell you right now, and I don't want to sidetrack, but I because I'm doing this event this weekend, I had to, and it's an outdoor show. I had to invest into some display stuff that I don't normally have, so I had to really contemplate what's going to be used in the future at conventions. And
That's right.
I think the best thing I purchased was a new backdrop, so I can hang stuff up
That's
behind
awesome.
me. Yeah, and it was on sale too. It was like $50, so I said, okay, let me let me pick that up. But yeah, no, conventions are a lot of work, very tiring, and but always fun.
Yeah, and you do get ideas from other
Sure.
vendors too. That's for sure, because you see how they're doing. You're like, okay, I need a bigger backdrop, or I need a tablecloth to go with this. Or just little things, yeah.
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 And you also meet other creatives too. You
Mhm.
connect, make friends, and they're from all over the world. It's not even just the U.S., but all over the world,
Mhm.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
great about it too is that it's pretty much your own storefront. It's
Yeah.
an artist's chance or a writer's chance to actually open up their own store and test it out.
Yep.
So you get to preview your stuff, get to show people new stuff that you're thinking about presenting, and you get to workshop stuff, speak with your fans, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You know,
see
it's
somebody
always
just put. I did my first con on Saturday.
yes,
I was
David
really.
from Sillyville. Uh,
And
Silly.
I
That's
remember our first
awesome.
con. I remember my first con was actually all four of us. It was me, David, Eli, and Alexa. And I remember as people were walking by, and I never pitched my book before. I literally learned like that day. And
Yes,
Yes.
that was a fun experience.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what I learned to do for that was I used to keep summaries, little like handwritten in the beginning, and then printed out summaries and kept them behind my book.
Yes, we
So
did the
like when
same.
people would talk to me, I'd be like, okay, this is what I'm doing, and this is what the book's about. So yeah, it's you learn a lot. And David, you're right. Cons, you got to think as a storefront. When I first did shows, I didn't think that way. I started thinking about that years ago, but I
Yeah.
just it wasn't like a full time business for me, so I didn't want to do the investing. And not that it's a full time business now, but now I'm just like, no, I got to present differently. So like that's what I was looking at, and on my purchases there. And by the way, David from Sillyville, he did Plastic City Comic Con. You guys, it is. He said he did very well. I spoke to him privately about it, but from my understanding of the show, it is like all comics. People go there; they're just comic fans. So I'm hoping to go up next year. I'll talk to the promoter Keith about it.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
yeah. You guys should consider that too. David, remind me where it's at. Sillyville, David, not.
Oh, Sillyville's also David. That's cool.
Yeah. He's been on the
Hi,
show
other
too.
David.
He's got his book Sillyville. He started it too, like writing movies, and that's what it is. He does really good
Awesome.
comedy stuff.
That's
And,
so interesting how everything kind of ties in together,
Yeah.
especially
Mhm.
comics and movies. I find that storyboards can easily translate into comics, but then storyboards are for film and animatic and all that stuff. It's just so cool.
yeah. No, I love that's all fun stuff. I haven't done those in years myself,
Mhm.
but I got to be honest, I'm a little happy about.
Mhm.
David is mentioning that he storyboards for Marvel stuff and all this stuff, and I'm just like, it's great and it's a tough job, but I know the work that goes into it, and I know the level of work David puts out, so I just am like, wow, I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
And I can see you're working on something
Mhm.
right now. Anything you
Yeah, I'm
share?
just doodling
Just doodling.
because I don't really get to draw for myself anymore, so
Mhm.
I'm sort of enjoying this conversation and just finally getting a chance to relax.
That's fine. Yesterday I spent 4 hours after dinner working, like inking and working on stuff for this show. And then when I was done, I walked out of the studio, went into bed, and pulled out my drawing board and put it on my lap in bed. And I just drew to relax. So I just spent 4 hours working. And then no, but that's the thing. I really like, and that's why I wear an armband half the time.
Hmm.
My arm is shot. But yeah, no. Uh, it's
Yeah, that's why I started up the drink and draws, because I think that work is very different for artists.
Mhm.
Even when you're doing it professionally, you still want to do it when you're relaxing. It's a very odd
Mhm.
career. I draw pretty much almost like the entire day, like to make money, which is really cool. But at the same time, I want to draw for myself. And these drink and draws give me like a chance to kind of, I know it sounds weird because it's technically harder to draw from, from a figure, but it's oddly like relaxing.
No, I completely understand what you're saying. I mean, and I think most artists are this way. We got into doing art professionally because we love art. We love to draw. We love to paint, whatever it is, sculpt, whatever it is. So like, some of us can make a full-time gig out of it. Some of us do it part-time, or some of us just do it as a hobby. But when that time comes that we're done with the pro stuff, it's still what we love to do. And I talk with my wife all the time, and she's she'll say things like, hey, you never want to go anywhere. I go, I'm in my studio, I'm happy, this is my happy place.
Why go anywhere?
Yeah, I got everything around me that I want, that brings me joy, and outside doesn't have that until I see, oh, there's a Dick Blick right there. Let's go in and what can I bring home and not use for a month or two because I have other supplies I still haven't played with. But I used to get those, what is it called? Those like art boxes, I forget the brand. Like, do you know those things? They would send you like 3 or 4 little supplies. I used to get those monthly. And then some of them I never touched. Some of them I ended up becoming a user of regularly. I think they were great. But anyway, again, this is a sidetrack. So let's see, where was I? That happens here. So anyway, I didn't say where it's at, but Plastic City Comic Con is Leo
Plastic
Minster.
City.
Yeah.
I put Plasticville.
Oh no, it's Plastic City. It's oh God, is it? And I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on his name, even though I'm very friendly with him. What's Keith's? Is it Keith Griffin? No, I don't want to say that. He's the writer and creator of the Mighty Mascots. Let me look that up real quick. I feel terrible. I just haven't spoken to him in a while, and that's why I'm blanking. Mighty Mascots. Let's see. Gleason, that's it. I knew it was with a G. Keith Gleason, the Mighty Mascots. It was Alterna Comics published him. I don't know if it's still under Alterna, but Keith Gleason, great guy, and he actually has a podcast himself. So you guys, David, I should have just waited for David to answer that. So anyway, yeah, check out that show. And for David and Eli, there is a show coming up in Yonkers, New York, on the 27th of September. Deadline is the 31st of this month. It's at the Yonkers Public Library. And I believe there's a show in September somewhere in Long Island.
Is that the Yonkers Comic Con?
Yeah, Yonkers Comic Con.
Okay.
I'm not signed up for it, but I was thinking. A friend just reminded me today. I looked it up. So deadline is this weekend. So Sunday. Anyway, guys. So back to Devil's Reign. So I'll be honest, guys. I've talked to Eli and David so many times. I'm really interested in some of the writing about the writing process for Rudy. Mm-hmm. So if you guys want to jump in and talk, because I know you guys have done your own comics and been part of it, but I want to ask Rudy about a little bit more about writing, if that's okay with you guys right now.
Of course.
Awesome. So Rudy, so you obviously read Scott McCloud and Will Eisner, two of the greats on the topics, and you started reading indie comics mostly. Have you found any comic writers that, like actual comic writers from that aren't Scott or Will, that have inspired you or maybe kind of changed how you look at writing comics now that you're reading them more?
Um, I would say the one I gravitate to more is like the Sin City. I
Okay.
feel like that's more my style, the Frank Miller. So
Hmm.
I do like that one, but that's probably the only one I would say. I did actually because once I got started, I was a fan of the Walking Dead show, so I researched what is it the Robert Kirkman. I started reading some of his stuff, and then so I like his stuff and like Invincible. I thought that was awesome that he went from like zombies to superheroes, and then he made it really like that the boys kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like it was just like if superheroes were kind of had moral issues.
Yeah.
So I really like that. So I would say probably Frank Miller, Robert Kirkman. I would say or people that I've gravitated towards.
Nice, nice.
Mhm.
And are you still like reading them now? Because like the,
At the moment, no, just because of work, and then so whenever I do have free time, I'm usually trying to work on the book.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because something I do is I try to make sure to read comics daily. So like
Mm.
it may not be a full trade or graphic novel. It may not actually
Mhm.
be like a mainstream. I don't even want to say it may not even be like just a comic book. It could be comic strips. It could be manga. It could be whatever. I just try to make sure I'm reading something every single
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
Some days it doesn't happen. You get busy, like you said,
Mhm.
with work and stuff. Um, and and where was I going with my point? I wasn't trying to brag. I know that.
Michael, I want to
Yeah.
add that I actually started. I do the same exact thing,
Mhm.
but I just started Mark Schultz Xenozoic.
Mhm.
It's really, really good.
Zeniso. Okay, I'll have to look that up. I
It's
don't know.
pretty dated, but I like that stuff. I don't know. I guess maybe because I've read so many comics. I like hearing different language and hearing the
Yeah.
way people used to talk back in the day.
No, no. I'm very big on that too. Like for me, history
Mhm.
is one of my favorite topics. Um, and like when I taught art history, the subject I knew the most about was like actually ancient art history because I studied a lot of mythology. I studied a lot, and it brought me into understanding cultures, and it took me into all this. So I started studying ancient art history and understanding because I wanted to learn about the cultures. Um,
Mhm.
so learning how people are in the past is something I find very fascinating, and being able to read something with comics like one of the you ever read Barney Google or Snuffy Smith? I'm sorry, it used to be called Barney Google, but Snuffy Smith is the current name of the strip. It was Barney Google and Snuffy Smith. John Rose, who's the current artist and writer on the strip, um, and this I believe it hit its 100th year anniversary recently, was on the show and we talked about it. But he still writes like it's from the South. These characters are Southern. They're kind of hickish, if you will. So
Mhm.
like listening to the script, they don't even properly say the names of characters. Certainly, they're writing how they say. He writes how they would sound if a
Mhm.
Southerner said that name. Um, so I
I
get
like
what
that.
you're saying. Like I love reading strips like that. The old Popeye stuff, the old Thimble Theater is fantastic for that. Reading classic Dick Tracy, like with the mob.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, those type of things I find fascinating. So like I mean, you've never been in my studio, but one of the things I have a ton of is comic strip collections.
Mhm.
Read Pogo, read I'm trying to think off the top of my head what I can just grab, but Pogo has that kind of southernness to it as well. But yeah, no, I love that history in speech. It actually
Mhm.
helps me out because I write accents terribly.
Mhm.
So I
I
try to.
like how writers do that too. How they stick to kind of what they know. So like the first thing I thought of is how Stephen King, everything takes place in Maine because that's where he's from. So he knows Maine so well. So
Yeah.
like for me, like I'm like from small towns, so like I can't really write about like that's why my story kind of takes place in a small town, because that's what I know,
Yeah.
So I don't think I'd ever write anything about that had never took place in a city because I'm not used to city life.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. I never thought all my stuff takes place in outer space usually. So I don't know what that says about me. Uh, but yeah, I had a point that I wanted to mention about the reading comics, and I lost it, I guess, and so I'm sorry. But let's get back to the writing. What is I like to ask this when I talk to writers because it's always different for an artist and a writer. I find, like right now, David's sketching. He's comfortable. He's kind of in his studio. It's his happy place. You know what I mean? It's like where he's. Do you have a place like I can only write here, or can you write anywhere? Like, do you have? I have to have music on. What is your process for writing?
Usually my process is to be honest, it comes pretty easy.
Mhm.
Usually once I sit down and like I focus and like it'll just kind of pour out of me. If I don't want to forget things, I got then these guys actually help me with it because I'm like technology illiterate kind of. So like I would actually go running to find pen and paper if I had an idea and I want to forget it, and then they're like, "No, you can just say it into your phone and save it." And it's just like, so I do that now. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
So if ideas come to me, I'll say it into my phone and just save it. Um, but also too, I realized now. Actually, look, I was watching a movie the other day, and I was like thinking, I got influenced by a lot of horror movies growing up. I was really into horror movies. Like I was watching a movie the other night. Was it Night of the Comet? And it's about like basically there's like some sort of eclipse, and all the people turn to dust. And then those that don't turn to dust, like anybody who was behind a lead wall was unaffected. But if you weren't behind a lead wall, either you turned to dust or you turned into a monster. And it's like an old 80s movie, but I was like, man, I was just wondering, like, I wonder if this like subliminally had something to do with my story. Because as a kid, I think because in the 80s, I was like maybe what, 7. So like, yeah, so I probably seen that movie over and over when I was like a 7, 8 year old.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
but a lot of
remember.
80s movies. Yeah, it's a really
Yeah.
good movie.
I mean, I'm not a horror fan, but
Mhm.
I was born in '76. I watched a lot of '80s. I always leaned more towards like Stallone type of stuff, and Schwarzenegger. Like I love those blow 'em up movies.
Oh
And
no, I was the opposite. Like my dad would always rent horror movies, so that was kind of our thing.
yeah,
Freaking Commando uses
Oh,
claymores to blow up a whole
oh,
building.
dude, that is like modern day, like a master. And I know it's not a masterpiece, but like John Wick, I could sit
Oh, that's
and
so
watch
great.
John. I still haven't seen the fourth one. I'm waiting for it to come free on streaming, which I
It does not disappoint. It's really good.
yeah, I heard there's supposed to be like 9 of them. But
Wow.
They
Wow.
I think that is one of the best like modern day masterpieces for action films. um it's the type of movie I grew up on. They killed the dog, and now it's just I'm gonna kill everybody. That's just great. So yeah, I always lean that way. I had a friend who used to show me Tromaville movies.
Oh, Trauma. Yep, I
Oh
remember
god, I remember
the
being over
Toxic
his house.
Avenger, huh?
That's
Yeah.
what I was just going to point out.
Toxic Avenger.
I remember the scene, and this is always in my head, where the high school students were driving the car and they see the kid on the bike and they hit him, and then they
Yeah.
drive, and his like brain pops out and they drive over him again. I'm like,
Okay.
this is disgusting. And my
Yeah, that's a horrifying part.
yeah, just
It's like RoboCop.
RoboCop. I loved that didn't bother me.
I love it too, but
Yeah.
it's still devastating.
Yeah, I guess back then, yeah, it was tough. But yeah, I won't go into it. I've told the story enough.
Back then.
I
No,
saw a funny meme about RoboCop where it says, "If you think your life is bad, this guy died at work, and they resurrected him and made him go back to work."
that's great. I love
I
that.
saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, wow, that is it. Now I got some movies to watch. I might have to. I try to put something on at night to kind of zone out to and sketch to. Well, maybe RoboCop will be that.
You know
movie.
what's funny is I do that, and my wife hates it because I'll put on like The Exorcist and go to sleep to that.
Yeah, well, I'm not sleeping if I watch The Exorcist.
Oh my God.
I saw that edited on Channel 11, and I mean, both Eli and David will remember back in like the late 80s. Oh, well, it was throughout the 80s, I think into the 90s. Channel 11, it was WPIX, would have an afternoon movie, like on Sunday, and it showed The Exorcist, and that's when I watched it, and I did not sleep for like a month. All right, I used to have some messed up dreams about it, where like it is. I'll tell. I don't think I've ever told this dream. It was me. I would wake up to the smell of my mom cooking breakfast, like French toast or whatever. And my bedroom was at the end of the hall. The kitchen was at the other end. And I would wake up and I would look, and I had, and I'm a big Superman geek. So I always had like Superman powers in my dreams. And I had x ray vision. I saw my mom cooking. And what was supposed to be my sister sitting in her high chair was a young Linda Blair. And her eyes just got really like big, and she would stare. She saw me looking with my x-ray vision, and her eyes just popped out, set on fire, and flew down the hallway at me, and always woke up right before it hit me. And it was a great dream I had.
Actually,
Yeah.
I want to mention this before we get off of the topic.
Yeah.
So this year was the first year I designed for The Exorcist. And what's funny is about that license is that people who've seen The Exorcist love it, right? But it's not a beloved license. So I had free reign over my designs,
Interesting.
which I was very happy about. I'm actually going to show you guys a couple.
Oh, well, there goes my night.
Yeah.
It might take. Give me a second. I have to try and find them.
Flashbacks to those eyes popping.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
I'll tell you another. This one I think I might have told Eli and David, and I know I've said it on the show, but this is one of the reasons I hate horror movies. I saw Child's Play a little too young, and there was the My Buddy doll, and sleeping over my aunt's house. My cousin had a My Buddy, and my brother thought it would be funny while I was sleeping to put it right next to me and take a flashlight and shine it up at it, so you get that whole horror look. And I was maybe 7, 8 years old. And what does my brother do? But I'm facing the My Buddy doll. Michael, wake up! And I open my eyes. The first thing I see is freaking My Buddy, and I'm like, I'm done. I screamed. I had to call my parents to come pick me up. It was like midnight. It was a mess. But yeah, no, I was like, nope, I'm done. I couldn't even look at it during the day. That My Buddy doll, I hate that thing. So yeah, I
Michael.
Our experiences. Yeah. Go ahead.
Really quick, so I'll show you guys this.
Dope.
All right, that's not going to bother me much. I like that.
Let me see if I can get it. Come on, go. Hold on, it's not doing it.
I'll give you.
I'll
I'll give you the screen, but I want to see the reaction. What's that say?
That's
awesome. That's cool.
There's something.
It's backwards, David.
Yeah. Well, it's
it's mirrored.
It's
mirrored. Yeah.
That's awesome. Though. Oh, I like that.
That I like. I like that.
Christ compels you. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, your work is fantastic.
Thank you, man.
And when is that out yet, or on?
Yeah. They're out in products. They're doing whatever they want with them.
All right. Cool.
Oh, so I want to show you guys something. So because Warner Brothers shoots down my designs so much, I'm actually gonna show you guys a few of the designs that I made that they shot down.
Okay.
So the hardest license that I have to work with is Jason or what is that? Friday the 13th?
13th,
Yeah, yeah.
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 So everything that I make for them, even though I think it's really good, and I'm sure that the editors there think it's really cool too, they can't accept it because we only have certain rules that we can use. But let me show you. So I have a few more ugly Reagans too for you. Here's another Reagan. This one's real ugly.
Oh, I like it.
That's really good, though. I can handle it in drawings, but knowing that it's based on a live action thing still kind of freaks me out a bit.
Yeah,
Mike,
but
I agree.
have you ever
What?
been to the Museum of Moving Image?
Yes.
You saw the doll
I don't remember. You know what? I haven't been there. Let's
in a while.
see. I don't even remember. I'm gonna next month. I'm gonna be married 17 years. I don't even know if I've been there since I've been married. My cousin used to live a block or two away from it, but I don't remember if we were married when I went there or if I was just dating my wife. So it's been within the last 20 years, but not. It's so I don't know. Whenever they got it, I haven't been there for the Muppets yet, which is bothering me.
Mhm.
You gotta go. It's a great show.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, really quick. So these are all the designs that got shot down.
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
That's
I know
nice.
it's mirrored, but I think you guys get like the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's really good. I'm surprised they would,
Mhm.
reject that one and that as well.
That's awesome.
Nice.
This one was cool. I love doing this one.
Yeah.
Got to show his face.
Mhm.
His mugshot.
The mug shot, yes.
That one's nice too.
This one was the coolest one, I think.
Yeah, I like that. That'd make a great T-shirt right there.
Exact. Thank you very much. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Michael. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, I'm not your boss. That would.
No. No, my boss is pretty awesome. He loved all of these, but it was just, Warner Brothers. We have certain rules that we have to follow.
Yeah, no, I get it. When the only licensed character I ever worked on was Zorro, and I had, Zorro Productions Inc. Really great people. Even though I didn't work directly with them, the people had, all my work had to be approved by them. So I had, you can only use this Zorro, this type of stuff. He can't have this type of sword, So I get it. It's just, it's hard. But luckily, everything I did was approved. But I only did like 10 drawings for one book and 5 for another. So it wasn't like I'm sending them a bunch of different things. So, but yeah.
Rudy, I just wanted to mention that I'm drawing Aiden right now.
Oh, nice. Yes. I'm gonna want to see it. That's awesome.
That's one of the so Michael, that's one of the he's actually he's one of the really big bad baddies in Devil's Reign.
Yeah.
Nice. Is it someone you can show right now, or?
Yeah, he's on the cover of
No,
issue.
I meant the work.
Oh.
Can you show?
No. It's still preliminary.
Okay. All right.
I'll probably give a preview at the end.
Yeah, but that's him there.
Okay.
Yes.
That's him right
Nice.
there.
That's great.
Oh, this is the black and white as well. So this one's we actually did do some in black and white.
I love to read black and white. Nothing against your coloring, Eli. I'm colorblind. I'm sorry. It's funny. I have a friend. He compliments me constantly on my coloring work, and I think I'm terrible, because I only use like bright colors really, and but also I do everything digitally. So I type in color codes. And I scream to my wife a lot, Janine, come here. Is that red? Is that brown? What color is it? So between those two, that's how I get my coloring done. But yeah, no, I like black and white, just grays.
Mm-hmm.
What I love to look at. And that's actually also, I think, me as an artist, and not just being colorblind. I can see the work, like the line art. and how the inker works and all that too. Which obviously is David on this, but I know. But yeah, no. So let's get into a little bit of the art. Now I asked David. I asked you about the art already. If you did any, new designs, characters, and we saw from the original to what you did, which yes, much more dynamic. I'm trying to think of some other words, but dynamic's really the best word to use. You made the page pop with with the work. When you get a script, do you find any challenges converting what Rudy writes into imagery, or is it because he kind of gives you his little drawings himself that you have the idea and you're like, I'm just going to give it a good perspective?
Yeah, Rudy puts a lot of detail into his script, so he gives me a lot to work with. So while I'm kind of designing the page, the thing that I really look out for is scene to scene transitions and how I'm going to capture the emotions between the characters. So if something is happening, I want to make sure that if you're paying attention to that specific character and you're learning their arc, if you look at them in the in-between panels while things are happening, you're going to see that they're really going through this. They're really going through it in the world, sifting through their emotions. One of my favorite characters in our comic is a woman named Mara, and she goes through a lot of tragedy. Like, she's probably the most tragic character in our comic.
Okay.
So obviously our comic is about the rapture, and it takes place after the rapture had sort of happened, and or it's happening, but all of the good has already pretty much vanished. All the good people have vanished, and two of the people that vanished were her two babies. So she's going through it, and she's pretty much just like breathing but not really living, and she's kind of like constantly in this emotional state where she's almost like a blender, and all you need to do is like do something wrong and she's going to turn on.
Okay.
So right now I think Rudy is kind of, actually, I don't want to give up too much, but Rudy is really playing into that.
Okay.
And soon enough, you're going to see her start to just, the blender is going to turn on and crazy things are going to happen.
All right. Well,
in terms of, sorry, Michael, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, don't give anything away, but I also wanted to ask Eli once again, just can you mute your mic? There's an echo on Dave's. Yeah.
So, but the way that Rudy writes, he really does write it like as if it's a movie. So I'm able to play it scene by scene and step by step, action by action inside of my own head. And while I'm designing the pages and creating my thumb book, the thing that I really look out for is just that those tears that really show actions going on, and making sure that we have a progression of the action. So I want to give you an example really quick. One of my favorite.
You as a storyboard artist, this kind of works well for you since you're accustomed to reading scripts and converting scripts into storyboards.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give you two examples of my favorite shots. So right here is the first page, right? We have Whitehurst and he's driving. And while he's driving, he actually has his wallet open, and we get a zoom into his wallet, and we get to learn like his sort of motivations for everything. You find out that he's a corrections officer right there, and you're just learning about this character, and you can see his eyes in the rearview mirror. So I wanted to make sure that you're capturing him. You see exactly what he's looking at. You see, not only is he looking at it this way, but he's also looking at it that. You can see where his heart's at. Then we keep going. And this is the pacing that I love here. He looks over at the. Oh, sorry, gotta try and like, come on.
I'm just gonna make you larger again so I can see.
Oh, sure.
There you go.
So Now, right here, he looks over at the passenger seat. So it's where his eyes were pretty much directed anyway. And you see that he's got like a bottle of whiskey right there. And he just like, you find out that like the reason why he's given up, he's like, fuck it. And sorry, I know this, like, there's kids on, sorry. You
No, they're
gotta
not
bleep that out later. But yeah, so he's like, screw it. And then you see him drinking the whiskey. And then down here, you see him missing, and it's his family. And then you see he's driving off to the corrections facility. So I love that type of pacing where you get to learn about the character, and you don't even need to really read the comic. Not saying, Rudy, obviously I want them to read it, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Now,
The art
was
tells a
that-
story without words sometimes. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That was in Rudy's script, or was that something that you pulled from his writing to do that?
That was in the script.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So here's another one. There are certain moments where I show Rudy ideas and he likes them, and I get to put them in. But here's another one. This one's a very cool moment. It's where Whitehurst is looking at Leo, and Leo pulls out a knife, gets on his knees. You find out that he's like one of these biblical kind of crazy characters he seems crazy, but he's actually not crazy. Then you keep going and you find out that like he does some nutty stuff. He starts freaking slicing his wrists, and he's got like freaking diving the knife into his eyeball. Then he offers the knife to Whitehurst and his eyeball at the same time. And then he keeps going, and Whitehurst pretty much just he takes the knife, and then right after that you see Leo. He just pulls his head back and starts banging his head up against the bars.
Wow.
And that comes up later. So you sift over to the comic where we have the conclusion of this moment. And you see he's just bashing his head up against the bars, keeps bashing his head, and this is where Michael, I think this is stuff you like about my dynamism, where like I shoot him from inside of the cage, outside of the cage, and then finally his head bursts through the two bars, and he's like lodged in between there. He's pretty much like successfully killed himself. But yeah, I love doing that kind of stuff. And
that was awesome.
And Rudy actually I feel like Rudy writes it so he knows I'm gonna like drawing it. So
yeah.
And Rudy, do you do it like now that you know David's work, you kind of familiar? Do you like write stuff specifically that he's gonna have fun with, or is it just this is my script and he draws?
Oh yeah, and then there are times too where I'm like, I'm really excited to see what because just thinking in my head, I'm just really excited to see what he comes up with, because I know whatever I'm seeing in my head, whatever he comes up with is going to be even better than the way I'm seeing it. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Rudy.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Eli, let's unmute you and get you speak in here. I'm sorry. So I wanna talk to you. I know we've probably discussed this that you were on, but now that Rudy's here, maybe it might be different input in the way the conversation goes. But you do the coloring, you do the lettering on the book, and I'm always fascinated by both. Not colorists because I'm colorblind, but letterers because I find lettering to be an art form in itself. And a lot of people don't realize that. So I'd love to hear your process or your thoughts on when you're lettering a page and how you go about it.
Lettering, okay.
We'll get to coloring after,
That's
but
it.
I'm
That's it.
fascinated
No, I'm just kidding.
by
Actually, I have to really thank Michael Higgins. So I recently it's been like a year or and change now, but a few years ago I took a class with Michael Higgins, who used to work for Marvel, and he's an amazing, like, this guy can tell if you traced his work, he could tell if something was kerned and off. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But Michael's amazing, and he's an amazing illustrator, artist, and he does everything. Master, and I'm so lucky to have learned how to do this process a little bit easier. It's not easy by any means, but it takes a little bit of pain out of it. And he's someone that used to do it with like a rapidograph and with a dip pen. And I've done some practices in that way because I love working in that way. And actually, because of him, I've taken a dip pen and started using it in my own illustration, which I love. It is a lot to just do a whole comic like that, except especially for edits. So I do everything in Illustrator. I'm trying out a new program soon called Affinity Designer.
I have Affinity.
Yeah.
I'm still learning them. I've had them for about a year, but I haven't used them really until now. And Affinity Photo I use to make up the ads for the show. And right now mostly do some conversion, but I put a children's book, which I'm going to get ready to publish soon. I put that through their publisher, but I do have Designer too. When I bought it, it was like, I don't know if you remember, there was a big thing with everybody leaving Adobe and whatever. So they had to deal $80 for your iPad and computer at the same time.
Yeah.
So I bought all
so
three.
sad I missed that.
for $80, and I was like, okay. So, but now I'm starting to do work in them more. I don't draw in them. I don't like it as a drawing program, but I like it as a Photoshop replacement. And I'm asking a lot of people, and if you need, I got YouTube videos that I've saved on how to use certain aspects of it. So when you're ready, let me know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I will definitely would need those, because for that reason exactly. When I was in SVA and I worked on Devil's Reign during that time, and I had access to Illustrator, and I was taking the class with Illustrator, so I learned a bit about it, and it did make a huge difference. Yeah. Before I became the letterer on issue 3, David was doing the letters for 1 and 2, and he was doing it on Photoshop. He was drawing each balloon, the tail. Yeah. I'm going very slow because that's how painful the process is.
Oh, I know. I used to letter a little bit.
It was painful.
The one thing
I worked. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You say your thing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, he asked me one day. He was like, "Can you just fix these a little bit?" And in my mind, I was like, "Why? Why?" And the funny thing is that I took that lettering class to never do that ever again. That's why it just took too long. But yeah, it humbled me in a way too, because this is what people do, as David did it, right? But I said there has to be a better way, and thankfully Michael Higgins, he's such a master that he was like, yeah, there's so many ways, and Illustrator was the best way because you could change the balloon quickly. You can take the whole page and change the size of the stroke of the balloon. Yeah. You could change the fonts. You could do all this fun stuff. What is it called? The riffing tool, where you can make these cool effects on the balloons. There's so much cool stuff you could do. But my best advice for anybody out there doing lettering with Illustrator, which I hope Affinity can do, is that if you pre-make all your balloons, it's like 1,000% less work. You just copy paste your balloons. Yeah. And that's what made the process so much easier. It's not easy because you still need to make sure that the stroke is the same all the way around. If you're working on an iPad, it's a little bit harder, but it's like half your work is done. You just have to plug in the script and then run with it, which is nice.
Yeah. I'll say this because I have worked traditionally and digitally as a letterer. When I was a production artist for Archie, if I got a page, I had to make sure the words were spelled correctly, and if there was something I had to be able to imitate by hand, I would just use some whiteout, Pro White or whatever, and I would redraw, reletter I make sure I knew what nib the letterer used, so I would copy the same nib. So I did that. I also did some digital, not for Archie, but for other things. I did some digital lettering. And you know what? I never did the copy and paste of the balloons. That's a smart. I used to make all my balloons, but I was so quick. I pull out an ellipse, go adjust the sides a little bit, like real quick, boom, boom, draw a stroke, use the Pathfinder tool to connect them, and drop the text in and just adjust. So I played around. I know, how to do it. But the one thing I will say about
show off.
I know, right? All of us on Photoshop are like this.
Yeah, but the thing is, I would do the same thing in Photoshop. I just use the pen tool. I'd pull out an ellipse on there, and then I go into the pen tool edits to edit that. It's the same thing. Like I've experienced every aspect of it at some point in doing this stuff, and and I've done hand lettering, and I love it. I do. I really do. But
hand lettering is a lot of fun.
Digital is so much easier.
It is. It's so much easier. I mean, there's certain things like because I like brush lettering too. What is it called? Yeah, I think my handwriting is really cool. I mean, at least I've been told it's really cool. And I've done a few.
I'm listening.
I guess
I'm just looking for something.
Like text work for some of my illustrations.
Yeah.
With brush and everything like that, which is nice. And if it was like maybe if I turned something into a font, maybe I could use that in lettering eventually. That's like something else to learn. But I don't consider myself like a full-fledged, like I'm like a letterer. I'm definitely still learning the ropes. But after taking that again, Michael Higgins, he taught me so much. That it's been really easier. It's been great. No more pain. At least less pain.
I'll show you this right now. It's not. I had a bit thick of a pen point. I couldn't find the pen nib I like. This is one of the first hand letterings I did in years, and I showed this on Instagram, so people have seen this. But this is one of the original pieces that'll be available at the
at the show.
At the show, so abracadabra right there. But that was one. Yeah. But that was one of the first things, and that was, I think, a Speedball B5, maybe. No, maybe a little thinner, or thicker. I don't know. I think a B5 is a little thinner, but yeah. So I have a few things that I hand lettered. I gotta fix. I want to wipe this out and redo it, but this is another piece right there that'll be available from Alice in Wonderland, and I don't like
that's a good bunny.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't like how I have up here and all this empty space, so I think I want to rework the lettering up there.
It's tough. I mean, especially if you're doing it by hand, you can't undo it.
That's the thing. That was
you can't undo it. You literally have to either go into Photoshop and erase it and then draw it on a separate.
After I scan it, it will be, but the original piece I'm going to go in, and I want to fix the balloon on that, and maybe maybe adjust the text on it. But yeah, so. But yeah, no, I love hand. I love doing it preferably by hand if I could. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
And
yes, it's a lot, especially with the ruler and everything and all that.
If I were good,
it's crazy.
I would prefer it too.
It's an art form, but that's why I wanted to ask, because it's whether it's traditional or digital, it is an art form in itself.
Yes.
I've mentioned my friend Dan Necrosis on this show, who's passed away, and he was best known for his lettering. He's worked for like every company as a letterer when he was alive, and he even has a little handout that I have in the other thing he made from when we did kids shows and sections and teach kids how to hand letter. So I'll go back and look at that. But yeah, me and him, I kind of did what he did in there, but I actually went back and looked at it for reference because it was great. But and I say this all the time about him, but for you manga fans, go read the first 12 issues of Berserk. He did all the lettering for that, before whatever company took over. But yeah, no. So that it is an art form in itself, and one of the things, like, I love that you're an illustrator. I think that's the best program. But designer, if any designer basically do everything, you're just going to need to save the balloons in a separate file. Because
it's the same thing with Illustrator. You have to drag and drop it, copy paste it.
I used to would take files, copy it, and put it on the side of the artboard. You know how you could do that
Oh, okay, I see what you
in
mean.
Illustrator?
Yeah.
So I would just have it in the same file and then delete what I don't want.
What you use? Okay, that makes sense.
And then or delete when I was done the extra stuff on the so I didn't have anything on the side. But in Designer, you have to have a separate file from what I've figured out so far.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. You're just going to learn new key commands and you're going to learn new tool names and stuff. Anyway, let's move on to color because we've been talking for almost an hour and a half here, and I don't want to keep you guys all night. You know, talking about color. Last time you were on, you mentioned how you pick palettes. Just remind me, or just remind the audience if they saw the other ones, which I hope you did. And if you didn't, please go check out the videos with Eli. How you pick your palettes and are they kind of the same or different per book or per issue, I should say?
So I would hope to be a little bit more consistent. I hope that it's consistent. I think issue 2 is the most different because it was my first time doing a colorist gig, and I was thinking with my painter brain rather than a CGI because David does CGI. What I'm talking about, like cell shading, kind of like a mix of that and painting. I think I've perfected it now, working with David for so long. But David draws so realistically that in my painterly brain, I said, I want to render this like crazy. Now I don't think that way. Now I treat it like a graphic novel. I treat it a little bit more where it's softer in some areas, but then it's still very much like this is a comic book. And that's from reading more comics. That's from just practicing, getting a little bit more experience and experimenting. As far as palettes go, I going back to that script. I have to look at the script because if Rudy is trying to tell us a certain, how do you call that, like a certain mood with what he's writing, like it could be something where like going back to Mara and very emotional stuff, I'll make it extra blue and moody. If it's something that's really supernatural, I'll make it really poppy, very bright. And instead of doing this horror comic like the classic like red and more monotone color palette, I decided to do a little bit more of an 80s vibe to it, just to give it a little bit more life, um, rather than it being like very much like just one tone. And I think that's also helped with the more emotional aspects of it because it's a horror, but it's also a drama. There's a lot of drama in there between the characters, and I think that David does a beautiful job with the acting and the color. I just hope to help accentuate that, accentuate the acting with the color, just to kind of just hammer it on the head.
And how much does Rudy give you freedom? How's the approval process for the colors? Like before you color a page, do you provide him with any like here's kind of an idea of what I want to color or how I want to color it?
Yeah, I would I would say that Rudy does give a lot of freedom, but I feel more comfortable making sure that he knows that I'm trying to work with his vision. Um, because even though like we all kind of understand like universally some emotions, we're all different, just to just kind of make sure like, oh, is the scene like capturing what the emotion is, or just having that second pair of eyes is very nice, or in this case like two other sets. Because maybe something is not as bright when it goes into print. Maybe David can say, hey, like you have to punch up the color, which is good, especially in the beginning when I was first starting out. Again, I was thinking painterly, complementary colors and realism. And now, again, my brain is more set to print and comic style.
Yeah.
And then Rudy also, he is looking at it at a lens not only as someone who is like as a writer and creator, but someone who is just like this is like his baby, so he wants to make sure that it's looking really good, but also that it's going with his vision, and that's very important to have that too.
Now, I just had a question. I lost it. No, it was a color. Oh, I wanted to ask you, with your going from your painterly brain to your comic book brain, and you said as you read more comics, you got kind of more of an idea both with lettering and with color. Um,
Yes.
what like books or if you have the artists, but if books maybe more for the audience that kind of influenced how you color, like just as an example, I grew up obviously loving animation. So when you look at my coloring, it's very bright, it's colorful, it's easy on the colorblind eyes, but it's very simply shaded. It's I would even say it's less than kind of cell shaded. It's got a little shadow on it, and maybe it's a highlight here and there. Occasionally I throw a rim light on, but I don't really, it's simple. you know your stuff ain't simple. uh, and David's art, I know, is the
No, I
reason.
agree. Yeah.
It's so what
It's
is like what's
interesting.
influencing you? Yeah.
Um, I would say, because I mean it's tough because I look at so many different things, and me being a painter, I see nuance in color. Like you can't really see all the color spectrum. I see everything.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like with your skin tone, I see like the pinks, the purples, the blues. I see all of that, and then to me, the highlight on like maybe like your forehead would be like a little bit more yellow, not white. So I see all of those nuances. Um,
I saw
what's
none of
great
that.
about, huh?
I said I saw none of that.
And then everyone has different like. Anyway, I could go forever with color
Yeah, yeah.
temperature. This is like nerdy talk for me. I love color. Um, so so as a painter, I see all of that, and learning how to like reading comics like for fun is one thing. Now I kind of look at them. I have to switch again, switching my brain off. I'm like, this is not to read to enjoy and geek out about the color. I have to study it now. Alex Ramirez, he actually did the covers for issue 2 and 3. The colors work for it. He's amazing. He's not only amazingly talented, he's worked on some pretty like intense titles.
Hmm.
He's worked on Bone Parish. I think he's worked on Dune, other like so many other projects. But he's like one of the sweetest people ever, and he's given me some advice too on my work. And just having that advice has really helped me out. And his colors are amazing. Like just how the way he tells a story with color, I think is very fascinating too. He really leads the eye. Um, believe it or not, there's a story by Colin Bunn called Punk Mambo that I really love. It's kind of like Tank Girl, but with like this weird spiritual. I think I have it over here. Can I reach it? Can I reach it? No, I can't reach it. Dang it. I might get up in a minute and grab it. But it's called Punk Mambo. Um and the cover is painted, which it just blows my mind. And then the inside is that like again it's bright but it's soft and it's with possessed people, so it was like perfect to get inspiration from to
Yeah.
do Devil's Reign. Um but it's just so much fun, and it's again like it's like almost like that graffiti punk vibe that I kind of like anyway, so it kind of really fit. And it helped me um not filter my color selection, but it helped me understand, okay, like I can't just put all the nuances in one thing, but how can I select something that makes the story continue in a very clear, concise way, rather than just kind of like having too much fun and just because I could be on a page forever and treat it like a painting. Um and it's nice to just have like to simplify it just so I can continue to do the work. And it also helps with making the story and the page flow a little bit nicer. Again, setting the page mood, um, keeping
It's
things
also good for your
consistent,
work ethic too,
everything. Yeah, that too.
because when you simplify things, you're able
Hmm.
to get it done a little bit faster.
Yeah, that too.
Now, let me ask that because this was going to go into an artist question, so it's for both of you.
Okay.
Um, as an artist myself, I always feel like my next drawing has to be better than my last drawing. I'm always trying to push myself to be better. As
Yeah.
as as David, I'm going to ask both the questions, but when do you know when to stop a page? And Eli, with the coloring and mostly the coloring, when do you know it's completed and is colored properly? So whoever wants to go first on that.
Eli, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I went first last time.
All right.
Okay.
And while you do that, I'm gonna grab Punk Mambo.
Okay. So, my God. So I'm one of those people that I feel like there's a vision inside my head of the end product,
Yeah.
and I know that I have a little bit of closure inside of me, where I know that in about a year or 2 years or 3 years, I'm gonna get so much better that I'm gonna look back and kind of, regret a few decisions, look at things and just go, oh, I could have done this better. I could have turned the camera this way, could have accentuated something with the acting. But I have a picture in my head. And once I have that picture and I'm able to kind of like put it down on paper, if it's fully rendered and I feel like the flow is going well, because that's really what I look for. Like I want the page to read well, and I want it to read very clearly, because this is Rudy already knows about our comic. It's a dirty comic. Everything in the comic is messed up. It's apocalyptic, and things are all over the place. And if I can reach a sense of clarity in some of the shots, then I want to accentuate that. I'm going to give you guys one example. So one thing that I absolutely love doing are these silent pages. And in each one of our issues, I try to hit this on the head. So this right here is a moment where one of our characters, his name is Charlie. Michael, if you want to give me
Yeah, I'm
the
doing
full. Yeah.
There you go.
So one of our characters, his name is Charlie. Hold on, let's try and clear that up. Come on. Okay, there we go. His name is Charlie. He goes and wanders off, and he just sees like this house, right? And one of the doors are open. So he goes in and he leads himself into that house, kind of like, because they're going around the town trying to help people. So he's just trying to reach out to people, telling them that they're trying to meet up at the church and stuff like that. So then you go over here to the next page. So he opens the door, says hello. That's pretty much, and he says this little thing here. But everything in the house is all messed up, like as if somebody got into a fight. And I'm leading you. What I'm doing is I'm leading you up the stairs using blood, even though technically your eyes are going down the page. I'm leading you up the stairs, right? And as soon as you see these blood stains, right, leads you into the next panel. And you see the characters going up the stairs still, kind of like giving you a sense of where you are and what's happening. Once he gets up the stairs, you see he's still traveling, following the bloodstains. And then it leads him to this door. And all the blood is leading him to this door. So when he goes in, right, he's kind of sort of like, let me zoom in a little bit. So he's sneaking in, and he kind of gets a peek, and he just sees this person with a knife kind of like, stabbing this other person, and you see him scream, right? And after that, you have the splash page. I'm not going to show you what happens after that, but you have the splash page of the entire scene and like what takes place. But the reason why I wanted to show you that is because looking at this right here, I'm just so proud of the pacing and of what's going on.
Yeah.
And as soon as I'm done, like look at that close up. Wait, let me see. Is it doing it? Is it clearing up? Probably not.
Not really.
There you go.
No,
There it is.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, I love this. Like I think that when you're able to look at both pages in the comic and you kind of like get a sense that the story is moving forward and nothing is blocking you, that's when I feel like I'm done.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wow. First of all, that was fantastic work in there. I was loved following
Michael.
it. I gotta say though, as in, I don't know if it's just because I tend to do more kid friendly, or PG-13. I don't know how you draw people getting stabbed like that.
They actually had to
And
dial it back. I had more in there, but they dialed it back.
Yes, we did dial it back, and thank God we got the blessing from
It
Rudy to
got
dial
worse,
it back a
yeah.
little bit.
I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm a prude. I'm offended. You know, like it's like some of those things you see in I don't know, some like anime or manga. It's like, how the hell are they sitting there drawing these things? Because I can't imagine sitting there having to draw this scene, like
Mhm.
whatever scene it is. You know, just like how the hell are people like, you know, can do it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
personally
man.
can't.
The thing that I think of when I'm doing these scenes is, so Rudy put me on the comic Devil's Reign, right? But sometimes when I'm drawing this, I'll think of Freddy Krueger. So like, or I'll think of Nightmare on Elm Street, or Friday the 13th, or I'll pull inspiration from those movies. Sometimes Aliens too. Can believe it or not, that's a very very. I mean, obviously everybody knows it's a scary movie,
Yeah.
but there are just some scenes that I feel like the tension is so dialed up, and they do such a good job that I'm trying to capture that moment. Like
Yeah.
there's a moment in our comic where, and Michael, I'm sorry, this is gonna be a bad description. I'm not gonna show it, but I'm gonna tell it. I'm not gonna say what happens after, but what happens is what that character Viking, who's like he's one of the baddies, big baddies. He goes and he's got like a whole bunch of prisoners lined up, and he's, there's the character, the girl on the main cover of issue 4. She's in the room, and a bunch of people who are possessed are basically keeping them against the wall. And then what happens is that character Viking goes and grabs one of them, and has all of the possessed people restrain him onto a table. And that dial up in tension is something that I don't know, something about it makes me feel like I'm directing a movie, or I just thrive on it. And I like the sense that like something is going to happen, whether it's good or bad, but it's something that is escalating. And I like being able to control that escalation.
Okay, I get that.
And it's probably a part of my storyboarding background, and also, like, obviously we love comics, moment to moment scenes, action to action scenes, and separating the two.
Yeah, no, wow, I get it 100%. It's and if is the scene, I don't want to, you don't need to show it, but it sounds like a scene you may have shown me before, whether you were on here or just privately. I don't remember, like maybe at a show or something. I don't remember. But,
Maybe I did.
It sounds that the scene you described sounds very familiar to me.
What's cool too is I'm actually going to rope Rudy into this one, because he made us get really artistic with this. So he wanted us to add lyrics into the comic, which definitely is it's an interesting challenge. It's fun, but it is a challenge to do right. So, and I feel like we did a very, very good job with it.
Yeah, they killed it.
So now it's a little dark in the apartment, so it's going to be a little hard to see this, but let's go here. Let me know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. You know what? I remember. I mean, please show and talk about what you were going to say. But I remember when Eli was on, we discussed this. I believe, like when she had her solo show with me. Yeah.
So here you see her kind of like, activate this this old CD player, and as we scroll up, the music is kind of coming from the CD player, scrolling up into the panel, right? As you keep going down, you see all the prisoners lined up, and then we keep going down, and this is where he grabs the character, and the lyrics are kind of wrapping around them, and then finally he drags them over to the table, and you can still see the radio, and there's still music coming off of the radio. And this tension of all of the prisoners being in the room, music playing, kind of like them on the floor, being grabbed, dragging them over to the table. And then we go to the next page, and we have two of the characters speaking right here. That's for obviously when you guys read it, you'll find out what they're talking about. The Viking puts him onto the table. They rip his shirt off, and then somebody hands Viking the knife. I love this stuff. Now, it's not a great scene. It's a great scene, but it's not a good scene. But I like this is as a storyteller. This is some of the coolest writing ever, because I'm able to step by step lay it out for the reader, and all this while this beautiful music is playing, and then the climax is in the next page, which I can't show you guys.
Okay.
That was awesome.
All right. So
And they actually dialed it back. I was gonna add, because like I kept it like prison accurate. So I had the guys with like swastikas, tattoos, and like just the full facial tattoos, but we dialed it back there too. So
Yes.
but that was a good call.
They're already possessed. We don't need to demonize them even more.
Yeah.
well, I mean, listen, you make your own decisions. That's all I'm going to say. How you guys put out the comic. I have me personally no issue with giving them as real tattoos and all that as possible. But hey, it's
but that would also add time too. Like we save time by cutting some of that stuff out. So that's why it's better just not to do it.
Yeah. We add tattoos in there, but the thing is that the more intricate tattoos. I'll show you one. I know I keep coming back to the comic, but you don't have to zoom. You don't have to zoom in for this one. This is actually a splash page, but our main baddie, which is right here. Hold on, I don't want to give up what happens in the page before. Our main baddie, he shows up again and he sort of surprises everybody. His name's Aiden. And he's got I call them stickers because that's kind of like the technique that we're using. But as you can see, there's already a lot of detail in there, even on his belt.
Yeah. No, I get it. Listen, one of the reasons I don't give tattoos to characters is I don't want extra stuff to draw.
Eli, good job on the colors there.
Yeah. Yes. And speaking of colors, Eli, when do you know you're done coloring? Like, since you mentioned you just want to render this more and more. Excuse me. Like, when do you know?
I think when it feels balanced, if that makes any sense. And also having a couple of the people just like look at it too, because I could, again, it's like the hands that paint and then the hands that take away the hands that paint, because you could just go forever. And also just learning when to stop is, I think, good. Taking a break is also helpful. Sometimes I'll take a break, move on to something else. And making sure that all of them are at the same place also helps, if that makes any sense. Because if you finish something, you over-render it, something looks super unfinished when you go to a freshly flatted page. So I think having just everything in a nice, like working on a scene at a time is nice. That's been a nice workflow. And then it just reads better, I think. Work ethic too helps with work ethic.
And as a colorist, are you one of the colorists that are like, I'm going to do 100 layers, like you do every color on a separate layer, or how do you?
I think it depends on the scene. Yes, I think it depends. If it's a splash page, I'll add a little bit more to it. But I feel like I've come up with like a process that you only need maybe 5-6 layers. But again, it depends on the effects. I think that's what, like, when it comes to like the flats, I keep the flat layer. And instead of having 2 flat layers, because I know some people, they put random colors to get the flats down, I just do a base color. So everything is accurate to the character sheet. That way I don't have to do it again. But then I keep it as a flat layer so I can select my like the areas, so I can add shadows, I can edit it if I have to, all that good stuff. After the flat layer, I'll add like the shadows, highlights, maybe some basic effects, and then I'll separate the background from everything. So that's about, like maybe like 5 to 6 layers in total. I'll merge stuff because, again, painter brain, like I'm not afraid to merge layers together. I could just find it and paint it. But just coming up with the process after 4 issues, I feel like, and then plus other projects after that, it's just streamlined itself.
And you're coloring in what program again? Just curious.
I've used Procreate and Photoshop.
And when you switch over to designer, is it just going to be the other, like Affinity Designer? Are you going to get Affinity Photo, try to color in there? What's your plan? Just curious.
I've actually, so
Actually, hold on,
I'm used to
David. Can
Photoshop
you?
after so many years of using.
Thanks.
Huh?
No, you were getting an echo. I needed
Oh.
David to mute his mic. And now you're, hold on, frozen. Let's give it a moment.
She's frozen.
I'm frozen.
To me,
Let it go.
she's
There she
moving a
goes.
little bit. She's a
There we
little
go.
soft.
Okay.
All right,
I think it's because my
go
head
for it.
disconnect. I've used Photoshop for a long time actually, and now that I feel more comfortable with Procreate, but also again experimenting, finally issues that really worked. I found a smudge tool that I absolutely love, like a creamy something. I don't know, it's so cool. But narrowing down your process with Procreate has definitely been a lifesaver, and just narrowing it down also to fundamentals. I think that it's not only the program you use, but it's just like the fundamentals, like the values and whatnot. In Photoshop, for some reason, it was just easier for me to find it, and also tools like the burn tool, color dodge, like it helps you get certain effects faster.
Yeah.
But also it's a crutch when you're still like, even we're always gonna learn as artists, but it could be a crutch sometimes when you don't have those tools. So now that I've figured out how to get a similar effect with either building up value, again, like working with color a certain way, it's been much better with Procreate too, and just expanding my knowledge with the program. But I may not need Photoshop this time around, and I'm hoping it's just Affinity Designer that I'll be using for the lettering because of just expanding upon the fundamentals.
Yeah. Yeah, no, listen, I think you're gonna really enjoy Designer. I haven't used it that much.
Yeah.
Outside of some logo creation. Like I used to use Illustrator for, it was mostly logo design. But it works great. It's just like I said, it's some different key commands, and some of the tools are called different things. You just got to get used to how tools work as well. But yeah, no, I haven't lettered. I was thinking of trying to letter a comic in there. I haven't done that yet, because I don't have a comic right now to letter. But yeah, no, I was gonna give it a try. I actually really enjoy the soft, and you know what? I'll tell you this: the Affinity programs are basically the Adobe software before it became the Creative Suite.
Oh,
So
that's
it's like old school, like Photoshop and Illustrator. So before they went to, I would say probably closer to like CS3 maybe,
yeah.
which I know is the Creative Suite, but like that was what, like Photoshop 5 or something, 6 maybe technically.
Yeah.
Or
CS.
Before their objective was to gouge us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was still before the subscription service. They
Yeah.
didn't have that.
Yeah. It's but those things are great. Um, Man, I don't know what else to ask. We've gone about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably talk to you guys longer. You know that. But I think we should start wrapping up. But before we go, since I want to end on you guys, let's just give a couple of those shout outs again. And I opened up my email so to tell you where I'm going to be. So Saturday, unless it rains, then it'll be Sunday. But Saturday, August 30th, I'm going to be at the Hudson River Arts and Crafts Festival at Sensequa Park in Croton. It's from 11 to 5. And yeah, I'll have prints, original art, and all that fun stuff. And if you can, this Friday night, it was the Bronx Art Factory. Our good friend Edwin, who again, Enoch's Easel, go find him on Instagram, and all his information's on there. His show opening is that night. If you can make it over there, so please do that. And since I made those announcements, let's end with everybody kind of telling us where we can find it. But before we do that, David, you said you'd show us the picture at the end of the show. It's the end of the show.
Oh yeah, Eli, you got to turn your volume down. Jeremy, you got to turn your
Oh,
volume
hell
down.
yeah.
Okay, so
I'm
I
gonna
didn't finish the whole thing yet, but
nice.
just
Yeah.
a quick sketch of this character. That's very very evil character.
I love it. I love it. I like seeing your
What's that
construction
guy?
work underneath.
Oh yeah, it's dirty. Yeah, I was gonna have him on top of a like a pile of bones and stuff. I don't know, like he's on a chair and he's like on top of like a pile of people.
Oh,
Nice.
But
we
you
got
know,
that.
just zooming in on this guy. But
Yes.
yeah, so Michael, we wrapping up? You want me to wrap this up?
Yeah, can you? And we'll go to everybody. You can tell us all the socials and stuff. How to find you. Anything you want to promote, go for it. Even if it's something different, you got a show coming up, a book, whatever. Just guys, go for it.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Oh, you guys go ahead.
Okay. So Eli, you want me to go? Sorry, like the audience is like waiting. Okay, I'll just go. All right. So once again, my name is David Abrevaya. I'm becoming an art advocate in the city of Peekskill, New York. I run a drink and draw and a paint and sip over here at the Lofts on Divon. And I'm also teaching a certificate program if you want to learn how to do comics, storyboards, and character design and illustration from a professional that's working in the industry. Please feel free to sign up for the classes. It's called the Illustration and 2D Animation Certificate Program. It's a highly intensive and incredible program that you walk away with 5 different portfolios to really nail down your work. Also, I'm the main illustrator on Devil's Reign, and I guess things to look out for are those things. One more thing that I want to mention is that I'm also I'm a board member of the PAA, that's the Peekskill Arts Alliance, and next month I'm actually going to be president of the organization. So I'm going to be looking to do. Thank
Awesome.
you very much. Thank you.
Congrats, yeah.
Looking to do some pretty amazing things here in the city of Peekskill. If anybody has any ideas, or if you want to play around with an idea or an event, please let me know. One of the events that I'm workshopping right now is setting up a drink and draw at the at Gleason's over here in Peekskill. It's got like a big stage. We're gonna have a live band. The models are obviously going to be clothed because it's a bar/restaurant. But that's something that's fun that I'm thinking about doing for all the people over here in Westchester.
Cool. Very cool. All right, Eli, your turn. You can unmute.
Okay. I think
There
mine will
you
be a
go.
little simpler. You could just find me at Glash Monster on Twitch or on Instagram. Just kind of keeping it simple.
I forgot to
If
ask. Are
you
you
want to
still
find,
doing Twitch streams? I forgot to
I
ask.
took a long hiatus.
Okay.
I hope to start that up again this fall, so we'll see how that goes.
All right. Cool. So,
Yes, see how it goes.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, and if you want to see my work, my portfolio is Eli Hernandez art.squarespace.com because it's still a work in progress. I gotta get a domain name. But also, I've been working on the Devil's Reign Instagram, so please follow the Instagram at Devil's Reign Project. It's exciting stuff. But I'm probably stealing Rudy's thunder a little bit, but
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm like so excited. Like I'm revamping the website too. So at
Yeah.
wallbreakercomics.com, that's where you can purchase all of these issues. It really helps, continue the project and keeps it going. And I hope that, with issue 5 coming out very soon, we can continue that momentum. And yeah, I'm excited for 2026.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And Rudy,
Yeah, no, just follow us on Instagram. We got a Facebook. We got what else? We got Facebook, Instagram. Do we got a on X, right?
Yeah, we
As
have
well.
X2. Yeah.
Yes,
is
and
it all
then
Devil's Reign Project?
Yes. And then the name for the profile is Wallbreaker Comics. So that's the publisher.
yeah,
And that's where you can find the comics is on wallbreakercomics.com. Yeah.
yeah, we got the website. Yep, we got it, stuff there, and you can find us on Shopify as well. And yeah, it just like us and tell your friends.
Yes. Sharing is caring.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I want to thank everyone for coming on. I did have a blast chatting with all of you. As you guys know, you're always welcome anytime. Rudy, it was great meeting you for the first
Yes,
time, but
likewise.
same thing. Welcome back anytime. Let me know when you got some stuff going on. I'm happy to sit down with you guys again and talk about this stuff. And, maybe you can bring the project manager on next time, but I won't say her name, or at least unplug her before
Yeah.
before the show. So with that, thank you guys. I'll be back next week with another guest. And yeah, you can follow me, Michael Gracia, or on X, it's ToonMaker76, which is TOON, not just TUNE, TOON, ToonMaker76 on Twitch, and on X, everywhere else. It is my name, Michael Gracia, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I use Instagram mostly, though. So I will see you all later. Thanks a lot. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Michael.